Hello, me lovelies. Well, just waiting for John to appear. He sent me a message saying that I hadn't sent the link to Instagram, but I've just checked it did, so he's most probably missed it. So hopefully he'll appear in the chat if he's having a problem. I'll be able to put the link there because this is the usual thing: people not turning up on time. Where if it was a network, I can sure goddamn well guarantee you they'd be there well before time. So, hello, Andrea. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Welsh girl. Hello, Toongoon. So, I don't know what's happening at the moment. But just have to wait, darlings. If anyone's got any questions or anything, please do. So, if you're in the chat, tell you what, John, go into the private chat and let me know if you're there or not. Are you HTV? DMT? Tony? So, anyone got any questions when we're waiting? Because I really don't know what's going on here. I don't know if this is going to be a no-show or whatever. So, we could open it up to a completely different discussion if people want to, because don't see the point in wasting it. Because my golden rule is after 5 minutes, I close it down anyway. But I'll keep it going just to see what's going on. I know, Welsh girl, I don't like it myself. I'm always on time for everything. Here we are. Here he is. Now, you see, I have to do this, and I'll get suddenly people trying to get on. Please, people, don't try to get on, because I'm not going to let you on. Doesn't suffer fools. Super Coven. Big Billy. No, it's unless I know who someone is, I don't let them on. Tell you what, Humble, get on now and stop you messing about. Are you, Julie's? Have you got your spanner? Oh, what? Sorry, John. Oh dear, how embarrassing. How embarrassing. Oh dear, how embarrassing. Here we are, John. Sorry, I've just realised what you were going on about there. Oh, I do apologise. There we go. It's Julie. She distracted me. If you've got moderators, blame your moderator, because that's part of the job description. If things go wrong, just blame the moderators. You don't mind, Julie's, do you? It's all part of the job. Here he is.
See, you're going on at me there. You haven't sent the link on Instagram.
I did. I've just
checked, and I said, right, hang on. I said, and I photosnapped you. I said, I checked Twitter. You've not sent me it.
I have. I swear to God, I have. Oh, people.
Right, don't check the news, because it's an age thing. I'm going to get. You just share all their ass for the link.
I know. That was. I say it's Julie's fault. I say Julie's is my moderator, so I can blame her for all my mistakes.
Honestly, no, they're on because I WhatsApped you. There's no link.
Yeah, and a reply WhatsApp. But anyway, you know what I'm like. What am I like? And Donna knows what I'm like. If things aren't on time, what am I like? Well, that comes from having to go through the education it did, you couldn't be 1 second late or to be held to pay.
I knew you'd be like that, but honestly, when you go off tonight, check your Instagram. It's not there.
John,
Because I even checked Twitter to make sure that you hadn't sent it to Twitter instead.
I sent it just now to Twitter before it started. And get onto your WhatsApp.
I messaged you at 11:45, right, and I put my phone on charge, so I turned it off for 10 minutes. You see. It's like, okay.
Nothing better is there than starting an interview with a telling off, isn't it? Oh, are you, Julie? Kelsey's sweetheart, are you? Another of my moderators.
I'm going to flip here because I can read the chat then.
Oh, can you see the chat? Anyway, it's been all very exciting, hasn't it? It's been very
exciting. I'm actually blocked for 7 days. I'm banned for 7 days for bullying and harassing bullies. What that one?
I know it's that's why we've got you on here. But I think the best thing to do is you have to come up with code names. So, and just to say, Paddy Conroy's watching because I did a short video to Paddy Conroy.
Hello, Paddy. We'll get to you in a minute.
I'm not doing I'm not putting. I swear down on my mama's memory, I'm not putting complaints in against you. He's convinced that I'm putting privacy complaint. I don't know who's doing it. Well, actually, I do think I know who's doing it. I've got a good idea who's doing it, but I'm not doing it, and he might as well just leave his videos up there because he's not. What is he saying? He's saying that I talk a load of rubbish. That's his right to say that. I'm not going to start taking his videos down because he's saying that I'm talking rubbish.
I've said the exact same thing, and I'd rather I give him his full title because I'm not telling a lie. If he's telling the truth about me, give me my full title, give me my name. If he thinks he's telling the truth about me, give me my full title. I'll because then you're owning what you say. If you want to put a nickname beside somebody, to maybe hide from everybody that uses like nicknames for these channels, right? I.e. Paddy Conroy, is because they're lying about something. If you've got to be factually correct about something, that will not get removed. I'll not report your channel, Paddy. If I would want to report it, would have done it months ago. I'm not interested.
That's it. I'm not interested. The only time I'll take action is when someone's saying something outrageous that just is not true. I've done that to Paul Ellis. I've done it to Ronan when they said things which I thought was going way over what was acceptable. One, they were saying that I doxed his grandpa. I didn't. Ellis doxed his own grandpa, which I proved in a video clip of him. He did it. I didn't do it. And then Ellis, with his making horrible allegations against me about, trying to support really nasty people, when what I can see, he's the one that's supporting those type of people, not me. So then I'll take action. But Paddy Conroy, I actually, you're not going to like me saying this, I actually like him a lot. I do. I know he says things, I know he offends people, but and I don't like his past, but there's something about him that's engaging if he could stop his dirty mouth. But it doesn't make me, some people say things to you and it makes you really angry because you don't like the person. He says it doesn't affect me that way.
What I don't like, laughing at him is because maybe we've experienced cannabis back in the day where everybody had a fit the giggles. It's a infectious laugh he's got. He's stoned out his box and he's into a fit the giggles. You can't help but laugh at that because love him or hate him, you're going to laugh at that because it's infectious. It's contagious. It's like if somebody's got a laugh that makes other people laugh, you can't stop that. But what I don't like about him is he'll come out with phrases like, I do lie a lot. And then people was to try and decipher what he's telling the truth about. So he'll come out and say, I do lie a lot. But when I come to talk about these murders, I'm not lying. It's like he's like he's defecting things. That what my problem with him is he's got a lot of people brainwashed into believing. Like I'll say it out loud. Like you say, his family. I've been in prison with quite successful prisoners in Scotland prisons who have got the utmost respect for the Sayers family. For them to be classed as a grass or a police informer or a super grass or whatever is absolutely ridiculous. So Stephen Sayers goes and does not one but 2 lie detector tests, which we can all go and view. They're all over the internet. You see him get drugs tested, etc., etc. Paddy then comes out with you know, I've done my lie detector test, but if you go and look into the mathematics of how Paddy done his lie detector test, he controlled it from start to finish. His lie detector test was manipulated. It's like if he's getting used to calling somebody a murderer, he becomes like that word doesn't affect his heart rate.
Yeah.
It's like if you were to put like maybe Dickie Higgy on a chair and call him the N word, because he'd probably pass on a lie detector test because he's that familiar with the word. And Terry Mullins explains this perfectly well, that how when Paddy was asked on his first lie detector test, like nobody can see because it was like 12 years ago or something, he manipulated, or he was asked questions, and looking back on it and seeing how easy it is to manipulate a lie detector test. Where when Stephen Sayers done his lie detector test, he was asked to tell a deliberate lie. One of them was, "Have you ever lied to your parents?" He said no. That was a deliberate lie. That was so you could decipher between telling the truth and telling a lie. Yeah, because everybody's told a wee white lie to their parents somewhere in life.
Yeah.
Paddy then, in his kind of cannabis psychosis mind, then turns that into the only way he could have passed that question is because his mum and dad were informers, police informers for CI5, CI6. And you have to think to yourself, wait a minute, it's all right us laughing at that, but you've got a bunch of, and I'm going to call them a bunch of thugs right now, because the only way they can reverse this, there's things happened that I don't want to speak out about because there might be people, and maybe 40 people charged with a conspiracy, attempt murder, etc., etc. Without going too far into it, Paddy Conroy started planting that seed in people, and this was my turning point when I realised he was lying. So it's easy to plant a seed 30 years ago and water that seed. And that's what he's done to people that's probably undereducated. Probably half them can't write nor read.
I think what it is, John, right? I always say this. People will believe. It's amazing what people will believe, and it's what people won't actually see. It's like someone came onto my comments, just one person saying, "Oh, you report everyone if they mention your name." Now, the idiot had actually, which is a moron, had actually watched Paddy Conroy's video. They would have seen he doesn't mention me. She is not mentioning my name or a privacy complaint. But this is what annoys me, right? I have to tell you this, people, because this is terrible. I actually stuck up for Paddy.
I've got my Google T-shirt on here. You see it? Just in case everybody's trying to read it. It says
Brilliant.
that I don't need
that's
Google.
it. Just go and talk right over me, John. Feel free.
Anne.
Yeah,
I know you hate it. That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, right. I'm good to him, right? The other day, someone was calling him a psychopath, right? And I stood up for Paddy. I said, "How dare you?" I said, "He is not a psychopath. That is so wrong. He's too stupid to be a psychopath. Psychopaths are usually intelligent people." I said, "He's just too dumb-assed to have empathy for people. He hasn't got the intelligence to know what empathy is. So he appears to be a psychopath, but he isn't. So you see him standing up for the man, then he insults me and says that I'm trying to get his channel taken down. How? Isn't that wrong, John? Isn't that scandalous?"
But what they'll do, Anne, is you know yourself. So what they'll do, they'll wait till Paddy mentions you, and then they'll put in the privacy complaint to make it look like you. That's the way it works. At the end of the day, if he wanted to take channels down, I'd have started with Decca Heggie a long time ago.
Yeah.
I have no interest. I'd rather people see you and put my full title up there. If you're going to put your name to something, Dave, what I do, I'll put my full name to it and I'll put my title up there. You've got my Scottish acro. Yeah. I offered my acro to a mutual friend at Anna Conley's 2 weeks ago. And Anna Conley's message back was she wasn't interested in what was on my acro. And I said, I only want you to go into that patch there and tell him that I've got nothing against women and children on my acro.
Which happens.
But it's the way he twists things. So he will use the phrase, Humble said out his own mouth, he's been questioned and arrested over 10 times because of the allegations of hitting Amanda, hitting the kids. No, that's not what I said. I said there's been at least 10 malicious calls made about me hitting Amanda and battling kids. There's a difference, in malicious calls don't go in your acro.
But what I've got to ask you, because this is it, I said this video I did before, posted before, about Paddy Conroy. I haven't seen your English one yet. Let's stress this. I've seen your Scottish one, and that's totally, there's nothing on there about assaulting anyone. It's just like,
oh, well, that was meant to be a Scottish one that all the secrets were held on, so I'll send you the English one.
Yeah.
So my English one, Fergal from Making Gains has got that, and my Scottish one. Steve Rafe, obviously. Sean Atwood has got my English one. Now, bearing in mind, Sean Atwood, me and him were at loggerheads at the time.
Yeah.
If there was anything there that would have been bad, it would have been out there. One way or another, it would have been out there. The only reason I drew a line in the sand was Sean Atwood, because it was a pointless exercise. I was getting absolutely nowhere. He was getting absolutely nowhere doing what he was doing, if he was doing anything. And I just decided, well, enough's enough. I mean, where's it going to go? We know what's happened. We know I've got my opinion on him. He's got his opinion on me. Let's just draw a line in the sand there. Because at the end of the day, it was pointless. So I was just going round in circle. I felt like Paddy Conroy. I was going round in circle, dropping things for years. And that's basically what would happen. So,
have you seen who? Wait a minute. Have you seen who Sean is promoting at the moment?
I've not even looked at. I don't watch him. One time I watched him when Paul Ferris was on a couple of months ago. I watched it and I shared it because I like Paul. I'll speak to Paul, and at the end of the day, I like what he's got to do. He's forum that he's following that, and that's the only reason I shared it. I don't watch Sean Atwood, to be honest.
He's starting to bring, which you knew he would eventually, John Wedger back into the public domain. John Wedger's suddenly not talking about, I said this would happen. John Wedger's not talking about satanic abuse anymore.
Oh, because us Masons don't eat gunny eating children every Thursday in the month.
No, what it is that he's see, I've lost my train of thought now. He's
sorry.
John Wedger said was paid off by the police. So this great man of God who was saving all these children doesn't talk about it in exchange for cash.
It's quite sad. What John Wedger was doing was like, there's a lot of people out there on heavy medication, sitting there, probably maybe sitting there lonely, and you've got a guy coming out saying he's God and blah blah blah, and can us Masons can eat children, basically. Satanic ritual abuse. At the end of the day, there's going to be abuse out there, and if somebody wants to go down and say I'm part of this, they're just looking for an excuse. If you get into a church, you've got to find somebody in that church that's not a good Christian, and that's life.
Well,
but trust me, Nenes is going to eating children, are going to Pizza Hut for a baby.
Well, let's put it this way. Let's go into that, because think you will start hitting at the algorithm if you start saying all those words. What it is that Sean knows damn well, people have asked him, I've asked him and asked him, said, get Wedger to answer certain questions. That Wedger doesn't, because Wedger never sort of read the bit in the Bible where it said the love of money is the root of all evil. For some reason, he never read that side. And this question marks over where money that's been donated has gone quite a substantial bit of money, and John Wedger refuses to clarify. This is the honest cop who's a Christian and sent by God to deliver us all from these terrible people doing terrible things to children. But yet, Sean won't ask him that, and I've said, because you know the answer, Sean. You know the answer. Mm-hmm. That's why you won't. Oh God, you've got. Your couch you're sitting on, your rocking couch. I had one exactly like that a few years ago. Exactly the same.
But the wicker one.
Yeah. Well, it's wrapping. But yeah, I used to wrap one.
It's lovely. It's still 28 degrees or something in the jungle here, and so I'm just need to watch a couple of gorillas don't jump over the wall here. We're fine though.
Yeah. But that's just brought me right back to years ago when I used to have that. But they're not very comfortable, are they? They're hard.
No, they're shit. They're shit, and to be honest,
yeah. That's the only thing. They look nice, but they're not comfortable. Anyway, so we've been all anticipating and praying for you and your foot to get cured, right? But what did naughty John do?
No naughty. At the end of the day, see, your body will not have foreign objects in it. So if you get a scalp in your finger, it will reject it. And that's basically what my foot was doing. It was rejecting the bloody metal they put in it, so I pulled it out.
Oh, it's horrible, isn't it? It's I don't know whether he's shown it, but I've seen the pictures.
No.
But you have
I-
like hooks sticking out your toes, don't you? Metal hooks.
Yeah, I had 5 pins, 4 on the toes and 1 across the foot. So I pulled the ones at the toes out, and the one of them was 6 inches long. But the good news was they all went down in sizes after that, thankfully. So I'm down to like maybe I've got one going across my foot yet, which I've not the courage to pull it yet. I've not been angry enough to pull it out yet.
Is Donna there?
No, she's not right. She's in bed actually.
Well, I just I'd like to say my admiration of her courage and bravery knows no ends that she gets in the car with you because she
wasn't happy last night when I pulled the rest of them out, put it that way, but anyway.
You haven't pulled them. Oh, John, you've got them in there for a reason.
No, I've none in. I've only got one left now. I pulled the rest out last night.
Why did you pull them out?
Because I watched a video of a boy getting into a gym, and he's a train. I'm not going to mention his name because I don't want your channel hit. But there's got to be a reason for mentioning this story. So he goes into a gym. I get sent a video of somebody getting into a gym.
Yeah.
And he's a trained bare knuckle or cage fighter.
Mm.
He's quite well renowned down there in the Newcastle, South Shields, etc. His father's a copper. So I get sent a video of him getting into a gym and this boy defending himself. And I went, well, what's the backstory to this? So I then get sent the other video, the backstory to a fight in the street. And you know what I'm like for attention to detail. So I started slowing things down and I realised that the cage fighter on the 2 occasions pulls out a knuckle duster. And bad enough getting setting in about the boy with a knuckle duster. No one's on the street. The boy was getting the better at him. But he basically told this boy to get to a gym. And if he didn't come to the gym, he would be running with the Freeman family and they would be putting a lorry through this boy's house if he didn't come and take a licking, basically. And in the kicking in the gym, again, the cage fighter with the name pulls out a knuckle duster. Well, I'm sorry, if you're a cage fighter and your hands are classed as offensive weapons as it is, if you need a knuckle duster, mate, you're not a cage fighter. You're a thug.
I've seen that video. I don't know if you've actually put it on your channel now, but I've seen that video, and YouTube would definitely take it down. But it's the most horrible, disgusting thing the way this fella is set up.
I'll put it on Instagram and upload it down. You'll see him taking his knuckle duster out his pocket whilst a friend of his, Aaron, is kicking the boy and he's down.
Yeah, kicking him. But let's put it this way, he's kicking him in the head as well. He gets
he's punching the side of the head with a knuckle duster. You only need one crack. It's game over. How Daddy's going to explain that to Ken? Is Daddy, if when you go to court for that, is Daddy going to, the chief inspector, going to say, wait a minute, is he going to try and hide the fact that you're a cage fighter? Because I know guys that get 2 years in the jail for because they're boxers and they hit somebody like one in a taxi. You get 2 years in the jail because his hands were classed as offensive weapons. If you want to put you've already got an offensive weapon, you put a knuckle duster, so you're putting an offensive weapon on top of an offensive weapon. That'd be like me putting a gun in my hand and just going into a club and shooting somebody. It's the same thing, because every time, if you're shooting somebody in the shoulder, you're punching somebody in the side of the head with a knuckle duster. You're looking at a life sentence if somebody doesn't take you out the game first.
But it was just, it is horrible. Let's say it's 2 people on 2, no one's on his side, but some person tries to stop it, but kicking him in the head, that, I'm sorry, and where it all, this is what another thing I'm going to say, we've got to have these bare knuckle fighters condemning this person outright and saying that's not allowed.
Oh, definitely. There's a lot of people that I've spoken to in the background today who are not happy about this, and they can fight for fun. At the end of the day, if you want to be a name, if you're going to be a cage fighter, a bare knuckle fighter, and you put a knuckle duster on to prove yourself, you're not anything. You've lost your respect as a fighter. You're a coward.
Well, because it's like
you're a coward.
It's like martial arts, no jiu-jitsu and karate and all that kind of thing. If someone is found acting like that, they're kicked out the dojo. They're not allowed back in. That's it. They're gone.
But they were telling that boy, if he didn't come to that gym, arrive at that gym, his mum's house was getting rammed by a bloody lorry. So the boy had no other option to turn up,
I
but
know.
it was only meant to. He was only meant to turn up, take a couple of hits. It wasn't
He
mention
got
of two
laid
guys on
into it.
one
Yeah.
knuckle dusters, one standing at the door with a machete, the other
Do you
one
know
standing
what?
at the other door with a barney stand. There was no mention of that.
And
The only
the big.
guy I get it bad, it was a guy when the guy was going out the door, the guy Stephen steps out and hit the boy in the head where it looked like a bar. It might have been a pool cue or something, half a pool cue.
Mm.
And the boy that was hitting him stopped him. He went, Stephen, fucking lay my lane, stop hitting him with a bar. So I went in on that guy, so I'm going to give him a wee bit of respect back for stopping him hitting him with a bar.
Mm. But
Because,
it is ugly. If people haven't seen it, it's very, very just
but
nasty.
you know what this all started with, and it started with a man in the shed telling lies a lot of years ago. Yeah. So now what's happened is, and I'm going to give a couple of the guys in the South Shields and that who I don't like, I'm going to give them a wee bit of rope now. A line. I'm going to give them a line because right now they need to be looking into agent provocateur. And if anybody doesn't understand what that means, let's say, for example, allegedly there's 20 to 40 guys due up at court for conspiracy to attempt murder. They're looking at between 7 to 15 years.
Mm.
If they can prove, i.e. the man in the shed has been working for the police all along as agent provocateur, where he's insinuated this violence and created this shitstorm through lies, their sentence will go for, well, let's say you're looking at 10, I'll get a 9 year, for example. You'll get it down to 3 year. And then you're talking, if you can prove that he's been working for the Crown as a police informer, yeah, through your lawyers, you are not capable, your lawyers are capable of this.
Mm.
If you can prove the man in the shed has been using yous, yeah, if he's created this with planting a seed in your heads to believe this, he's about 18 months, 9 months on tag. 9 months on tag. And you can't grass on somebody that's working as a super grass. You can't, it's your lawyers need to do it. Agent provocateur. Yeah. And this is why you will not go and take a lie detector test. I'm not interested in Paddy Conroy getting my acro. Paddy Conroy is not to prove to me. I know what he is.
Well, wait a minute, John. Wait a minute, John. Calm down, and wait a minute, because you're going. I'm not getting a word in here, and this fella's been waiting ages, or woman has been waiting ages.
You know what I'm like,
right? I know, but yeah, it's a two-way process. Humble, are you going to take up Paddy's offer of getting your solicitor to get your acro and then swap? So his solicitor gets yours and vice versa. Now, that's what you've just mentioned. That's what you want to stress. Now, what's the situation from your point of view?
Well, listen, at the end of the day, Paddy's not even contacted his lawyer for a start to ask if that's possible. He's presuming. If I was to phone up my lawyer and say, John, my lawyer's called John, blah, 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 I've got an idiot in a shed wanting me to apply for my acro through you to send to his lawyer, he'd be like, are you back on the drugs?
It'd be like, what? That's what
he would say to me, are you back on the drugs?
Just let's put my spin on this, John, because I've said this. Oh, what's happened?
Yeah. Put me off and want a cigarette on.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, my view on this acro thing, and this is what upset Paddy and a couple of his viewers, is that lawyers and solicitors, one, they're very strange people anyway. Strange people, I can give you that. But to say to them, will you apply for this acro and check it to make sure that it's genuine? It's not a thing that they deal with. So the question is, could they be bothered doing it, for one? Because they'd have to work out how much do I charge for this service. I get it. They get it from the police. And what they're going to say, yeah, I got it from the police. And yeah, it says this. That's all they can say. And most probably charges something like 300 quid for just saying that. But yeah. I don't think they do it. It's not a thing. It's like what I said ages ago, John, when people saying about acros and no, the police know acros. The police wouldn't know an acro. The vast majority, if you got it and shoved you in the face, they wouldn't be able to tell you whether it was genuine or not. For the simple reason, the police don't need. When I was with the police, I didn't need an acro. I'd just go on to niche and everything was on there. So you never needed an acro. So it's there might be some desperate lawyer out there that would do it, but they'd have to price it up and say, well, how much you would charge with this, when they could be working on a case that will bring them real money in thousands of thousands of pounds.
Paddy Conroy's not even got a lawyer. I've even checked on it. I've not even got a lawyer I can contact. I'm not. So he's claiming, right, that I emailed him in 2019. So if that's the case, if he's saying I emailed him, get his lawyer to email that email address he's got for me. I can guarantee 100 million% I have never emailed Paddy Conroy. I get asked for my email address all the time and never give it out on ever. Because
but just clarify one thing, what are you going, if he finds a solicitor that will do it?
If he finds a solicitor, but see, at the end of the day, it's no me he's got to get lifed off here. So I'm giving your Hislop and that a line here right now. I'm giving them a bit of if let's say they're guilty of what they're accused of, right? They deserve to spend it, right? But I'm giving them a line here because mistakes have been made. People can learn from mistakes. If somebody, and I need to put my face to this, if somebody has been planting seeds in you for years and lying to you where you think that guy is telling the truth, then he refuses to do a lie detector test for you to prove his. I don't need to prove nothing to you. He needs to prove his innocence to you now. He needs to prove that he's never gave information as a working for the Crown. Right. So the three questions would be: have you ever been a police informer and gave information to the Crown for a reduced sentence? Question number one. Question number two, did you tell David Glover, whilst in straitjacket, to pin the murder of Viv Graham and Michael Sayers? And question number three, and this is important, Anne, were you at Leeds Crown Court that day when you heard the defence and the lawyers telling the whoever it was in the courtroom to pin the murder on Paddy Conroy for Viv Graham, Freddie Knight and Kicker Minikin? That's the three questions. It's nice and simple. Davey Hislop, that if you're listening, yeah, mistakes can be, everybody can learn for this, yeah, everybody can draw a line in the sand, but I don't need to explain myself to you. I will keep picking away at you until you get that man who's created this shitstorm to sort it. I will keep picking away at you.
Kelsey said something interesting here, which I've got a view on, and I'll put in my video.
I'm still smoking.
Get that off my screen. Right.
Sorry.
If it ever happened, the next thing will be claims that the solicitor's corrupt. It's a pointless exercise, in my opinion. Exactly, Kelsey. This is what I said. I think what's going to happen, and this is the plan with... Sorry, Paddy, I think you're playing a game here. I can read.
He is playing a game, man. And he's working.
John, stop talking over me. Let me finish my sentence.
Sorry,
right,
sorry,
now,
John. Sorry, darling.
See, you got to do this. You got to learn. Learn. In civilized societies, we each have our time. You wouldn't go down well in Italy. I tell you now, in Italy, you have to let people give. No, but anyway, my view on it is that when it happens, he's going to just turn around. If it comes through and it says, "Oh, humble dryers, acro, it's brilliant, it's fine," the allegation will be that the solicitor's a mason and you've got onto them and said, "Here we are, say that it's brilliant." That's what I can see happening. I'm sorry, Paddy, I can see that happening. And as for this and refusing to have it, again, what did I say months ago? I said, every word out of his mouth is lie detector test. You take a lie detector test. You take a lie detector. He wanted everyone to take a lie detector test. But suddenly now he's turning around and he's not eager to take a lie detector test, where I always got the impression of Paddy, if he thought he could prove his innocence on something, he'd be right in there with those probes on him doing a lie detector test. But suddenly he doesn't want to do it, and he doesn't realise it makes him look iffy when he does that. Questionable. Why is he suddenly, he's not a fan of lie detector tests when in the past, and there was also the one when he had this child protection team, and I turned around and said everyone should have the Clare's Law's checks done. And there was a big kick-off from Ellis. I didn't even point Ellis out, but there was a big kick. I was really pointing it towards Tony Bakers, actually. That was the one I was pointing the finger at. But suddenly, Paddy, no, I'm not getting one. And it's like, but you know, that only makes people question you more when you do that. Go on, John,
Well,
you have permission.
he will know. He will know, and I've sent my article to. I don't know. I've actually lost count how many people has got my English one. My Scottish one, I can tell you off the top of my head. You, Steve Rafe, Craig, Video Craig, and Fergal have got my Scottish one. My English one, I've lost count. I've lost count how many people I sent that to. At the end of the day, there's things on it I'm not proud of. There's nothing there regarding women and children, and that's what people are searching for. I have got things that I'm not proud of. I've
Well,
all got things
this,
I'm not proud of, but that's part of our history, isn't it? I know that he wasn't allowed to. He's telling people that he speaks to his family. I can guarantee he doesn't speak to his brothers. None of them. One Neil sadly died when they get mortally wounded with the gun that got handed into Gilsmith through Paddy that he said is Stephen Sayre's handler, but yet nobody was ever charged with a dirty gun, which I can't get my head around. Paddy was allowed to walk into a murder investigation when the guy there, when his brother gets shot, and ask the guy questions, i.e. his friend Bullock. I can't get my head around that. Him getting arrested out at the farm with 30, 40 coppers, taken to the police station, charged with conspiracy, attempt murder, and given a taxi back home with a police officer. I mean, it doesn't happen. And let's face it, he's never been up for MP, man in the town. He classes himself as an old school villain with did they say 100 pages or something there in Acro? He said that in a live. So I'm sorry, but
no, what it was, he put up, wasn't it? He put up his convictions list, and it was it was 2 pages long. So I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "How embarrassing!" I said, "If you went to a convention of criminals and they'd all shown the 100-page conviction list, and you've got 2 pages, and one of them includes stealing sweets from a shop." It's like, that's what I said, because it just didn't seem real. But Callum's got one here which I want to address. You're deflecting the question. If you told
I'll
about
be back in
the
a second. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt Jan because I've got motorsports sending here. 2 seconds, I'm going to come straight back.
Yeah, if you're talking about the acro, I don't know, imagine that's what you're talking about. He's just said he would do it. If they got solicitors who would agree to it, he would do it. So that's the answer to that. Oh, save Claire. Yeah, that's because you've been away for a long time. You haven't been out for ages, have you? Months. So he did answer. He said he would. But it's getting a lawyer to do it. I don't think a lawyer will do it. I've never heard of it before, anyway. So how's Moto doing?
He's all right. He's hoping to jump on the live, and he's actually away to look at a car.
Does he want to jump on now?
Well, I don't know. I tell him if he's got a good enough service, he'll need to jump in because I've not. Unless, hang on, wait a minute, I'll be back. If you're saying you've sent me it now, I can send him it.
I was a chief constable, Victorian. Chief constable of actually, I wasn't a chief constable. I was the commissioner of the Met. The commissioner of the Met, because everyone goes around saying that I always said I was a police officer. I never did. I was like, what they call it? Got loads of names: inquiry officer, desk sergeant, Bridewell patrol. Even though there was no Bridewell to patrol. Basically, I always describe my role as being like a police officer, but too scared to go out on the beat. Because if it turned out a little old lady had suddenly come round the corner at me and surprised me, she would have been getting CS gassed, I'm telling you. So, there's no, I'll say one thing, they are brave police officers. I've got a lot of criticism of them, but they're very, I'll say you can't come on, Moto, that's pity. But we'll do one another time and definitely come on. Because I know you've got a lot to talk about, which we're good. But yeah, let's see, waiting for His Majesty to return. That's funny. Let's just get that. What are my views on modern policing today? Oh God, that could go on for hours. Let's put it this way, though. Excuse me, Rod. It's not a. Are you there, John?
Yeah, I'm back.
Wait a minute. Just let's get this right. I have to be careful. Oh, I know what to do. I get confused which button I'm hitting. Yeah, my view is. I mean, I could do a long thing about the history of the police. Let's put it this way: the police today, but it would take too long to go into it, are not what were envisaged in 1829. I think it was when they were created, because back then the idea of a police officer breaking into your house and seizing your equipment. Oh, what? No way. They've become something that they were never designed to be. Let's put it this way. Or police officers with armed police officers would never have been. They would never have passed the Police Act. What was agreed on in the 1829 was completely different from what we have today. Completely different, because we're seeing. That's why you hear these things about when police officers, or what they used to call the peelers, the first police officers, when a few of them were murdered by the public, it was considered justifiable homicide, because the idea then of someone, well, they didn't have handcuffs then, but the idea of someone taking your liberty away or breaking into your house to gather evidence, what? No, they would never have. They would never have passed it. We wouldn't have a modern police force today if they'd been able to time travel. But I'll do that in another show sometime if anyone's interested.
But it's like Paddy saying that I'm working for the authorities, right? If that was the case, I wouldn't be out here educating guys who have no respect for. I think of them thugs. I wouldn't be out here educating them on things like agent provocateur. If you can get your lawyer to prove that a man's a supergrass working for the Crown, I wouldn't be out here educating you if that was the case.
Hey, well, Woody Hippie, what's an acro? It's just a list of any crimes or any cautions. Or, well, they say acro, actually, it's the wrong terminology. It's a SAR, subject access request. And all
Subject
those
access
details,
request form, that's it,
request. But it actually doesn't have everything on it. It's niche that has everything on it, but you're banned from ever looking into that unless you.
But you can also apply for, when Donna applied for my Scottish one, I asked her to apply for everything. So you can actually, so people that's been called grasses in the past and you were never just sure, you can actually ask the police for any data held on you. So if I had ever given in any information for a reduced sentence, you can prove that is never the case if you ask to apply for it. Now, maybe right now the ACRO line is down. You can't apply for an ACRO online because there's been a breach in security through something that's happened in America. It's no through trying to get the Cyclops ACRO or nothing if they want to put that into a conspiracy. It's due to a breach in America. Malware. Yep. So basically, Donna's Donna's just come up here and put the right words into my mouth. You all right, Donna? Oh, she just said that. Is all right? Okay. So
anyway,
one of my friends just went through a big operation today, and I just hope everyone's went all right. So he's been on my mind all day.
So anyway, Bearbones got a question. Where did the name Humble Dryer come from?
Humble Dryer came from a phrase Danny Christie used once when Decca claimed to be a humble guy, and Danny reminded him a humble person is something, a terminology like Anne would give to me if I was a humble person, but I'm not. She would say John's a humble guy. However, Decca Heggie claimed he was a humble guy. He wasn't a proud guy, he was a humble guy. And Danny Christie made the phrase, "You're more like a humble fucking dryer." And it was just something that clicked in my head. It was a good selling point, as much as it wasn't for sale, it was free. And humble dryer, it was just something that stuck in the people of Carlisle's mind at the time, and it grew legs, basically. It was an accident, but it was just a humble dryer. And the reason it was called #2 is because somebody allegedly thought it up and the police were hunting for these people. Hence the reason I was nothing to do with the original humble dryer. I've always been humble dryer, #2.
So that explains it. So it was Danny Christie who came up with it, and you just borrowed
it was just a phrase. He said, "You're more like a humble fucking dryer or a humble sewing machine. You're not a humble person. You should be a proud person." And it was just something that kind of made people laugh in his videos. And I thought, that's all right. That. And I get 10 hoodies made, and I gave them away free. And one hoodie went about a fight show, which then turned into I was selling all these hoodies and all the rest. There was only ever 10 made. I gave them away free. It was Fruit and Loom sweaters. I went to a printer who kept everything off his website. I then sent them to a couple of people down south who then sent them on to another address, so my address couldn't be tagged in it. And that's basically how it went. Don't get me wrong, there was girls walking down Carlisle Main Street with them, and the police were basically peeping the horns, kind of like giving them a high five. The normal bobbies in Carlisle, true story as well.
Yeah. So Mark Chapman is asking this. I don't know the answer to this, so I haven't got a clue. I don't follow Dave or Tony. And why don't you ask Humble why Dodgy Dave is pals with Tony Baker? So I haven't got a clue. Do you know?
Right, well, listen, all I'm going to say is, right, if there's any evidence that you can send me where Dave is still friends with Tony Burkett, I will disown Dave from this minute on. I guarantee I will make no secrets about it. I'll just disown him. I will never tag him in nothing. I'll never break my confidentiality with him. But that'll be it. That'll be gone. Because Tony Burkett is, if not as bad, is just as bad as Decca Hagee. Yeah, his actions. I'm getting sent something tonight where Tony Burkett's saying in a message, in fact, it's Grassie's Nonsense Exposed, sent me a message saying, look at this. Burkett's shouting, my daughter's a screw. She's a police officer. You're dummy, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do this, do that. The normal threats for Cyclops, the empty threats, lightning there. And I said, he's the last time I knew anything about his daughter was a prison officer in Durham who wanted absolutely nothing to do with him, as does his son, because of the allegations of great.
Well, do you know what? Well, we best wait a minute, John. Just gonna say, let's get off that subject because I think bringing the children into, I don't like that. I'm never comfortable.
There are no children, and I mean his daughters.
I know, but there still is children, aren't there?
Yeah, I know.
I've heard.
They've made time for him, but he's saying. I'm just saying that keep his daughter and his kids out it because they don't want anything to do with him. Just leave him out it. Leave him out.
Well, Smoker in Acer said this, but I'm going to reply to this, right? It's my turn to reply to this one. Humble, why don't you and Paddy just meet up? So all the tit for tat out, man to man. Well, do you know what? He won't do it because I offered to meet up with Paddy and I said, here we are. Here's me tits. You can tap them anytime, Paddy. Don't worry. You tap my tits anytime you want to. And he refused. He refused. And I was so insulted. I thought, my God, if I can't even tempt him, I've got no chance. No wonder I can never get it, John. No wonder I can never get it. If someone like Paddy...
The point is, I've been at Paddy Conroy's gate not once but twice. What I will do, right, I'm going to give him a wee tiny bit of respect here, like that much. Because there was a channel went out last week. The Paddy Conroy had said, I tell Davy Hislop had phoned Paddy, and Paddy had said, I tell Davy Hislop to fucking forget about Humbles, blah, blah, blah. I've been sent in to do a job in me. If you want to do anything, I just expose him and his missus, right? That's what we said on day one. Day two, a channel appeared attacking kids, etc. And if anybody thinks that's going to intimidate me, it just makes me 1,000 times worse. As people's learnt now over the last few videos. Yeah. It makes me 1,000 times. You'll never scare me that way. It makes me worse. So
just to point out, that is true, because remember that time when we had that big argument that actually led to us actually talking to each other and understanding each other more. That was over because you thought, didn't you, that I was slighting your kids or using your kids against you. And so that's why I say to people, you can call John as much as you want, but just keep off his kids or Donny, because that's
you can't intimidate us that way. It's like blackmail. I get blackmailed in 2019. If I didn't stop doing what I was doing, my bank details and everything would go out there and all the rest of it. And I said, well, fucking go for it. And I said, okay, what? Don't bother. I said, I put all my own bank details and everything out there. I said, what you got to do now? It just made me 1,000 times worse. It's like, because you're backing down to bullies then. And I always say to folk, you need to practice what you preach. If I'm going to back down to them and try to tell other people to back down to them, there's no point in that. I can date for behind and not put my face to it. That's just, again, like, people maybe do that out of fear or whatever. But if you're going to, I don't like bullies. I hate them. Somebody trying to intimidate me or whatever, I'd rather face the consequences and back down for them. But then when people start doing a wee bit of homework on me, you know, certain people who disappear. And it's not because I like bragging about anything, because at the end of the day, that name dropping people and everything just makes you look absolutely fucking stupid out here. I would never do that. People can draw their own conclusions to things. Why I'm still doing this. There's always got to be bad people doing bad things in the world. It's finding the right people to do the bad things.
Well,
We don't want blood on the streets, Anne. We don't want people where maybe somebody's getting into a drug debt and they've got their debt down, and then they're maybe in jail and there's maybe a wee touch of that debt left. We don't want their grandparents and everything getting harassed and threatened and bullied and intimidated and put back, because, you know, people living in fear. That's not what criminals are all about. Criminals back in the era I was brought up looked after the old people across the road who didn't break the law. We looked after them. If anybody went near their houses and touched their houses, us, the bad boys in the village, would go and deal with the people who's touching their houses or stealing their coal. So to leave that get carried away with itself now in this generation we live in, you need to put a stop to it. You're not a criminal, you're a thug. If you think that's all right, a thug's a totally different thing from a criminal.
I've always said that the same. Well, I'm just going over old ground, so I'll keep it short. I'm sorry, they're not. They go on about, especially this gangster thing. They're not gangsters. They're thugs, as you say, violent thugs that intimidate. I'm sorry, you see them on YouTube, you know, suddenly now they're all running around. And every time they let one rip out the backside, a song comes flying out because they're all Christians. And it's like, get over yourselves, you know. You were never a gangster. You're still bragging about what you used to get up to. So I don't know how that's being repentant, you know, for your past. But as you say, they're just thugs. There's very rarely that you'll find anyone in the UK that you'd classify as B. I suppose there are, but the fact that you don't, I can't say that, is because gangsters know to keep the head down and not draw attention to, and they're not the ones that go around beatting people up. They get the little henchmen to do that. It's
also, and it's a case of, it's like a proper, if you want to use the phrase gangster, a proper gangster with a bit of brain there will do a bit of due diligence in people. They'll not just go on somebody's word. They'll go and check out what, like, I'll just say, I'll call him an Irishman, but he didn't like getting called an Irishman. He used to sit there in a meeting, say nothing, and he'd listen to everything. So let's say I said, oh, he stole something out of that bag. He would go and sit in the meeting, listen to what the boy who was accused of stealing something at the bag had to say nothing, and then it would come round couple of weeks later, the guy handing the bag, it was already opened, no one find that boy was got to take a bit out of the bag. So he would do his due diligence in people, and that's basically a successful, if you want to call them successful criminals, gangsters, whatever you want to class them as. That's weird, because they wouldn't just go and target somebody innocent on somebody's say so. They would go and check it for themselves. It's like me saying, Paddy Conroy, he's nothing that he can prove to me. I know what he is. He can have his own assertions of what I am. It doesn't matter to me. Right now, he's got a lot of people in trouble. He needs to prove what I'm saying is a lie. Now, will we take it? I'm giving these guys a line here to get a way reduced sentence here without grassing in the end of the day. They just need to agent provocateur. They just need to get the lawyers to prove that the man who fed them all the lies is a grass, and that you're about 9 to 18 months for a 10-year sentence. Mark my words. Agent provocateur. Working for the Crown, creating a shitstorm where people's nearly murdered. Come on, think about it.
See, it's just a total mess of this. But anyway, going back to, you know, your situation, because someone's coming up with this thing, you know, the troll. And I've said before that you're the biggest troll. I said before, when I first noticed you, this days before anyone knew that you were John, and you followed me, and I thought that you're involved with people that I'd class as one of them a vicious troll. I mean, totally.
Basically, I was involved with the same people that's now involved with Paddy Conroy. That's basically, they were trying to get me, because they seen me as a good spokesperson, they were trying to get me to think outside around the box, no outside the box. And they wanted me to be part of a team. I've not got a price. I'm simply here myself. No, but somebody said I'm one for Sean Atwood. Sean Atwood couldn't afford me. I've not got a price. I've not got a price.
Do you know, working for Sean Atwood, I can assure
That's
you.
what I'm going to accuse me right now. They're trying to tag me working with Sean Atwood.
I
I've
had
not
to
got a
work,
price.
right?
Sean Atwood could not afford me.
God, you know, it's like trying to get through the First World War, trying to get a sentence finished with you sometimes, John. Right, so I'll get out the trenches and try to say me sentence before the enemy shoot me down, right? This idea that you're working with Sean Atwood and he's paying you, believe me, I had to send, I don't know how many emails to Sean trying to resolve the situation. Just talk to you, just talk to Humble, just talk to him. I said, when you talk to him, and I said, sort this out. So I can assure you, I think the situation that Sean sees, I'm not sure 100%, but it's as long as you keep away from him, he's going to keep well away from you.
He's staying his own lane, aye. That's basically the way it works. Because at the end of the day, everybody that wanted me to go and attack Sean Atwood would not put their face out there and attack Sean Atwood with me. So I'm like, the only person that was yourself who's went and said what they had to say. I've said what I've had to say, and the other people are behind their keyboards. That's no good to me. If you want to say something, come and join me. But until then, I could have 100 people behind their keyboards want to say something. That's no good to me. You need to put your face to things. Let's face it, I'm not talking about women here scared. I'm talking about guys. I'm talking about men who claim to be this, that, and the next thing. If you want to say anything, come beside me and say it, and I'll say it for you. If you need a bit of Dutch courage, but until then, just let him stay in his lane. I'll stay in my lane. I've drew a line in the sand. It's finished.
Yeah, you have to. You were never going to win with that. And if this was said to people, remember when there was this big campaign to bring him down? You're not going to. He's one of these people that no matter what, he'll bounce back again. He's just one of those people. He'll always come back, because he's mind. And this is why I say he's either on the spectrum or something there. I've said this to his face. You know, I think he's on the spectrum. He is so methodical in his work. He gets up a certain time. It's like me in a way. I can be like clockwork. You can time a clock by me. If I say I'm going to do this, I'll do it at that exact second that it's on. Well, he's the same way. He'll get up, have his routine, and nothing will divert him from it. And then if he is, it's like when he thought his channel never had gone. Even if his channel had stayed gone, he'd be back again, building it up. That's the way
is that right, Bill? Is that right, Bill? Aye.
What was that?
I'm just giving Donna a Donna? Is that right, Bill? Aye.
So, Donna, you can hear me, can't you, Donna?
You can hear you,
yeah. As I say, I was saying to John Rice, I do think you're a brave woman, and you've gone up my estimation that you get in a car with him. Because I wouldn't do it. I mean, you'd rather have me on getting on the bleeding big one in Blackpool with no holds on me than getting in the car with him.
Well, so, I'm not here for very long, but the choices were stay at home and worry about him being in the car, or go with him. And my plan was to actually knock him out and just take over, because I'm quite slight. I could probably get in between the steering wheel and himself. So it was more of a control thing than bravery.
I'm telling you now, do you know what, Donna, though? This is it. I keep on, my advice to ladies is this. When you're dating a man, right, you'll never change a man, but you have to work very quickly, because if you don't potty train them to do as they're told from day one, they do go feral and think they can do what they want.
No,
so
you're
Donna,
absolutely correct.
You should work sooner on them, because now you're going to have a hard job trying to get them sorted out.
And who wants a boring man? I don't. I knew what I was getting into. We were friends for a long time before we started a relationship. So I the introductory offers at the beginning of a relationship, that he was onto a hiding for nothing with that. Because
I thought you were a copper at first and I blocked you.
Yeah, you did think I was a police officer, but that was because, he actually found photographs of me in Met Police uniform where I was doing a photo shoot for the suppliers of Met Police.
and I found them.
That didn't go down very well.
I went
did
a wee hunt where she thought she'd her Facebook lockdown, and I found a couple of pictures with these police uniforms on. And I told her, I said, I hope you've got everything, all the witness testimonies, victims' testimonies, etc. I said, because you'll get 12 hours and you're getting effing blocked. And
I've actually still got that message.
Anyway,
Well,
that's
anyway,
basically how it started down.
Well, this I don't know why you're scared of someone with the Met Police. I mean, you've got so many criminals working in there. I mean, my God, it would be what you're worried about. There's more criminals.
Well, at the time, Decca Heggie had put out a scare tactics.
No, I think the truth is you'd fallen in love with me, and you felt played.
Aye.
You thought you'd been played by undercover.
You'll get concrete wellies. If she needs to die, she needs to die.
That's awful. That's terrible.
See me and Donna, yeah, we both went little. Oh no, I don't know whether I should be told. Have you ever talked about your school you went to in London?
No, I haven't.
No, well, I'll keep my mouth shut. Sorry, and they did it then. Good job. I had the sense to ask you.
I don't even know about this, Anne. So there you go. That's how much it's never been spoken about.
You know a little bit about it.
You tell me a wee bit about it, yeah, but that was that. You kind of stopped it.
Yeah, but there's people would be digging deep if you mention that. Ooh, the trolls.
It's quite good being classed as the biggest trolls on the internet, but the biggest supergrass on the internet. I find that mostly amusing.
Well, it depends what you see as being a troll. Somewhat, to me, a troll is someone that actually, it's not that they're so much making videos. That's not a troll to me. That's just someone that's a pain and you can get them taken down. But it's when they're following you all over the internet or trying to copy you, convincing people that they're you
and try to twist the words
that's a troll. But making a video about someone, I mean, when I make a video about the man in the shed, that's me just having an opinion, but it's not trolling them. I don't go onto his website and to his chat and start giving them grief or setting up multiple accounts. Another thing that a troll will have is multiple accounts, and that's what
Well, every account I've used my hands up. I mean, I went into Paddy Conroy's one night and pretended that I was the guy Burke. I pretended it was him, and I was wanting to meet Bill at the side of the pub. But I gave him my street address. I looked in Google Maps. I put my hands up to that and I said, "That was me, you dummy," because that's how easy it was for Paddy to run away with a story. Is somebody appearing to be this person in his chat, saying that must be him, and asking, who was in the car that night we went to do such and such a job. Absolute dummy. It's like, but at the end of the day, that's if you want to call me a troll for that, well, I'm sorry, but if that was the case, I wouldn't have put my hands up to it. It was me showing you how easy it was to influence, a desperate man in a shed. If somebody appeared in my chat saying that, I'd have just blanked them. I'd have just absolutely went,
I think, though, there has to be a distinguishing point where if you call somebody a troll, if just because you call somebody a troll, that doesn't make them a troll. But an important issue is there isn't actually an offence of trolling. You can harass somebody. You can put somebody in fear of their life.
Like Paddy saying, I threatened to bomb his shed. I did, but with bath bombs. There's a difference. I posted bath bombs to him with glitter bombs to his mailbox. I put proof of it up there. He's not showed you any of this, but I have proof that I sent glitter bombs and bath bombs to his address. It's harmless fun. Is that threatening to blow somebody up?
Well, what it is,
I think legally, it's accepted legally that if somebody is making statements that they know to be untrue, and they are making those statements on a forum where people are going to listen to it and believe perhaps that it's true.
Let's say you're full titled and saying you're a hooker working for Sears.
Yeah, well, no, exactly. Those are
that's where we consume. That's where we consume.
That is really sort of like trolling behaviour. Yeah. We've been called trolls for a number of years, but as it turns out,
it just feels like going up against Paddy Conroy is like going up against Decca Heggie for the first time. Very little people believed you, but as you slowly work through things and commit yourself to it, everybody will see, wait a minute, Why is Paddy Conroy not doing this second lie detector test? Surely to God, if he was telling the truth, it wouldn't be a problem. People have offered to pay for it, including myself. We've even spoke to Terry Mullins, who he said if Paddy changes his behaviour, he will work with him again. What more do we need to do? If Paddy wants to go on a Friday Night Live where we do page for page acro, where we've got it in our hand and put our name to it, our own name to it, our own face to it, I'll take him up in that challenge any
But
week, any Friday.
This it, though, John. He's not saying that. What he's saying is, you've got to have it. But anybody says you've got to have it that it's 100%. It's proven that it's your acro, and the only way that that can be done, or original acro, is by, as he thinks, a solicitor going for it. That's the only way. But I don't know. Could a solicitor do it? I mean,
I don't know,
have to
and
be the
I've been in the dock many a time. I've never swore on oath and lied. That's what you pay your lawyers to do. I've never been married and broken oath. So at the end of the day, that's how far I take this. Putting your name on something is like putting your hand in the Bible. Putting your acro online with it in your hand and showing every single page, it'll get more effect than any solicitor could ever do, because you're putting your whole life on the line there. Will Paddy Conroy take me up on that offer? No, I doubt it.
But you'd still, if he found a solicitor that would take it on and say, "Yeah, I'll do that," you'd do it. That's what you were saying before.
I would do it, yeah, of course I would. But you need first, you would need to tell me his name is solicitor, because as far as I can see, he's not got one. Two, he would need to pay for it himself. The legal aid will not pay for that. I'm quite happy to pay for it through my. Yeah. If it needs to be done through a solicitor, I'm happily taking him up on that. But he must need to answer. He needs to answer to agent provocateur to the boys. He's got in a whole shitload of trouble.
But this is it as well. He's got to send his to yours, hasn't he? Or let your solicitor apply for this as well.
Well, he said as long as there's nothing on regarding women, children, any other crimes committed would not matter. Well, that's fine. That's basically what I asked you to look for. And again, I told you to put the whole lot out there. Correct me if I'm wrong. And you said, no, John, I'm not going to do that, because at the end of the day, this is allegations of women and children. You assaulting or hitting children on your acro. There's nothing on there regarding any of these allegations. I'm not putting it all online, because it's pointless and it's irrelevant, and quite rightly so. It is irrelevant. I'm not interested in Paddy stealing 2 pints of milk off the next door neighbour's step. I do know he had a court injunction out regarding his children through Maureen. I do know the court went in her favour. I mean, he can get angry all he wants at me, but at the end of the day, if he wants to dig deep in me, I'll dig deep in him. The only thing he'll get told is lies about me. It's like him saying that I was in a relationship with Donna Honey Jones. I've never met this girl in my life. I don't know who she is. She's a travellers girl whose dad was done with drugs, etc., or something down in Wales. And then the next thing he's put her out as being Donna. I maybe sneaked a legal title out there and he fell for it. But I'm going to give Daniel Bell a wee bit of credit here, a little bit of credit, and I'll give it to people where credit's due. I'll give it. So when a channel came out called Execution of Humbles, it was attacking children and ex-partners, etc. Okay, threatening to basically saying, "Ken Decker's probably got to get in about your daughters here, the 15-year-old, etc." Now Daniel Bell phoned up Paddy and said, "Listen, that channel you've just tagged there and promoted is basically attacking Ken Humble's kids and that. Put the live onto private and take it down. So thank you, Daniel Bell, for that. And thank you, Paddy Conroy, for putting the live in. But the damage was already done. So I'm going to give it to Daniel Bell. At the end of the day, thank you for that."
But Dave, I just want to reply to Dave and ask earlier, right?
After that, my respect plummets again. Yeah. But for that moment in time, thank you.
But anyway, Dave Daskell, right? Why won't you get your acro out and Paddy do a light test? You're late to the party, David. We've been over this, right? You're late to the party. John said he will do it.
Yes.
But the thing is, none of us are convinced, and I'm not one bit convinced that Paddy will do the lie detector. He'll come up with some excuse and say that it's a Masonic thing and all this business. And that's how it's going to get away with it. So he'd have to agree 100%, Paddy, that he'll do the lie detector whether he thinks it's a fake acro or not. As long as he's got to accept what that lawyer says, he's got to accept it 100% through the lie detector. That's the way. But I've seen, and I'll just say this about the Scotch acro that I saw. Now, there were a couple of things on there. Nothing bad, nothing about being against children or violence against women or anything like that. But they were like, oh, that's not nice to have on there. I didn't read that because it wasn't relevant to that. But if it had been a faked acro, you would have taken those two things out.
Thank you, Anne.
You would have removed
There's Class A drugs and that on it I'm not proud of. There's assaults and that I'm not proud of. If it was a fake acro, I'd have took these things out of it. Pervert the course of justice. Paddy said, if I can prove I've never lied, wait a minute, Paddy. So if I get stopped with the traffic police and I give a fake name and I get done with attempting to pervert the course of justice, is that me lying? Even though I get sentenced for it and I get 4 months. So I don't know where you want to go with that, Paddy, as in i.e. dishonesty. But have I ever stood in the dock and lied? No. Have I ever stood and put my hand in the Bible? No. Have I ever been married and broke a vow? No. So there's a difference between me and Paddy Conroy, is he's broken every rule in the book, but I've not.
So let's just get this right. You've never got married just so you won't break a vow. Oh, John, come on.
No, that's true. I've never, well, you know, can people maybe, you go and get, the way I was brought up, my grandparents were married 50, 60 years before they died. So they made a vow and you stop with that vow where I've never been married.
No, it reminds me of Constantine the Great. Constantine the Great was really the one that made Christianity a thing.
Does that give you any excuse to go and be unloyal? Probably not. But the way I look at it as the big fella's always looking down on it.
Just talk right over me, John. Just talk right over me. Just wait. It's just word salad and coming out.
Get used to it, Anne. Just get used to it.
So, anyway, yeah, Constantine the Great. He was the one that made Christianity popular. He's the one that did it. But the ironic thing about Constantine the Great, he was an emperor, a Caesar, sorry, you might as well say so, was a Caesar. He actually didn't get baptized until he was on his deathbed, so that he could do all these sinning, right? Until he actually died. He was the one that
you're by the pearly gates then. You're getting the key to pearly gates.
That's what reminds me of that. Oh no, I've never broken a marriage vow. That's why I got married. It's like, oh my God.
I've never been married, no.
That's what, this thing about calling people my missus, and it's not the missus. It's like, stop that. So there's women out there who, you know, they say, right, get that ring on that finger, right? We're going to get married and all this business. They go all through it. And then they're the ones that get called me missus. It's a partner if you haven't got a wedding.
Then they look in your bank account, you're in your overdraft and you're divorced.
Oh God! But how are you enjoying it as being fugitives, not returning to the country?
Fugitives, yeah, I'm on my toes, as Paddy says, but I'm doing no bad being on 5 toes. Other ones is at the game, so I'm just hopping about.
Look, tell the truth. You keep falling into mangroves in the Cambodian jungle, and you only wanted me to come out here so that I could rescue you from the anacondas and the boa constrictors that Paddy Conroy sent over via the triads.
Oh, he's triads, yeah, he's triads. I've never heard of them.
Triads have been a problem in Cambodia.
Trying to find the triads has been a problem. Anyway.
I can just imagine triads trying to understand a word out of Paddy's voice. They wouldn't understand what they'd be looking at us and say, we find English difficult, but this is
translate for John.
We actually found his ornament he got for the triads, and it's on Amazon for £28, £22.
Yeah, which is expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive, for something hollow. But at the end of the day, it's on Amazon there. And they kept it because it meant a lot to him. They kept it in the coal shed for the last 20 years. And they got it off the bee man and the triad man who was breeding bees. And what prison was it again?
It wasn't bees, it was...
Oh, it's wasps. That's right. It's getting honey for wasps. Basically, the man's delusional, but unfortunately, in the delusions and the funny things where we will laugh at, he's been managed to plant seeds in people's heads for a long time. I mean, we've got Anna Conley. Sorry, Anna, but you're getting called Dot Cotton on YouTube. Ethel. That's come on, Anna. Get a grip of Paddy Conroy. Get the lead on his neck. Because at the end of the day, he's making a fool of you. He's waiting till you're drunk.
Just like that says Dot Cotton. Why Dot Cotton? She's not like Dot Cotton, is she?
No, Ethel. What do you call it? Ethel?
Ethel, who had the little pug.
Oh, with the little dog.
Ethel with the wee pug, yeah.
I
get mixed up with you. I never love it. Yeah, I know. I watched it.
She was funny. Yeah, she was funny.
I mean, I actually thought, you know what? You're playing Paddy Conroy here, and then I think you're not playing him, man. You've been sucked right into him here. So credit.
Hey, well, Norman Stanley is saying, and there are loads of questions. I can't see loads of questions. I've been asking questions that are relevant.
What questions have I got? Come on, guys.
There isn't loads. So anyone want to ask any questions? Start asking now, and I'll look at the chat and I'll ask them for you. Go on. Oh, wait a minute. Do you know what this thing? This mouse is trying. Hey!
Is anybody want to see me headlocked on and get my first assault? No.
Let's see. So yeah,
I don't know. It's maybe Amanda. I've got a two-sided coin here. I traded Donna in for a blonde bimbo.
For a blonde bimbo. Oh, what was I doing the other day? Oh no, I'm not going to say it. There was something about someone that I had a recent little spat with online, and I saw his wife, and I think she is his wife. He is married to her, and I thought, oh, so typical blonde hair. I thought it's just so typical that's. It's like you see police officers; they all seem to have white, blonde-haired little babes they'd marry with. You know, they always called Sharon and they were a nurse for some reason.
Karen's no.
Sharon's all nurses for some reason. Very popular with the police. Very, very popular.
Hey, give us a question, guy. Come on.
Let me look. What is the biggest? Here's one.
Josh, what's
now? Does it? If you're going, wait a minute. You're going to ask rude ones. You're going to get timed out. Don't be rude. Let's see. Here's a good one. What is the biggest threat in the UK today, in your mind, John?
The biggest threat in the UK today depends where you're looking. If you want to look on a database, you'll see we're under a serious terrorist threat. But again, I don't want to bring that onto the internet because a lot of people say propaganda, but you need to keep an eye on these things.
Why does AC say Northumbria police want to speak to Mr. H?
I think Anna Conley's saying that is because I made a accusation about Keith Felton, who was the Davy Glover and Paddy Conroy's police handler. His son, is it David Felton? His son is still in charge of a superintendent for Northumbria Constabulary, and I just found it a bit weird because Paddy Conroy said that Keith Felton had moved in and Anna Conley. That I then put that into Scottish lingo and said that Keith Felton was basically sleeping with Anna Conley, and that the complaint went into Keith Felton's son, and I think that's why they want to speak to me. On top of the Harry Fuller videos about Paddy Conroy.
However, Anne, not Anna. You're wrong person. Something important to know, and let's just kind of stick to the facts here. As you know, some charming little delinquent chose to put a couple of panes of glass through on our home. And several people called the police. I spoke to the police. At no point has any police officer, and they've been back and forth because as I think I've told you, I'm not sure if this has gone out there, the charming delinquent left their hammer. They left the hammer and a trainer print. It kind of went around the internet that they'd left a trainer. They didn't leave
in the neighbour's garden when the bluebells with their stupid shoe. They went through the neighbour's garden.
So they know.
Put the neighbour's lights on, security lights, dogs, etc. So it's getting.
And it's a very unusual hammer. Yeah. It's not your standard hammer.
It still gets a sticker on where they bought it from with the barcode.
And there's only 4 shops in the UK that sell those hammers.
So they Donald Duck anyway.
We're dealing with professionals.
Yeah.
But let's get on to the next question then,
I
because
need a
it's
cigarette here.
going to take. Anyway, are you on your toes, John, or on your holes?
I'm on my toes, no. I'm on the run for any police force, not that I know of. If anybody gets any updates on that quicker than I can, would you please let me know with www.notgivingafuck.com. Thank you.
You swore on
Sorry, Anne said
I
I could
know.
swear 5 times.
It's disgusting. I'm not having
She
it.
said I could swear 5 times
Here
as
we
long
are.
as I kept
Now,
on the
here we
17
go.
period.
Let me check these questions. Are you going to be in a hot? Oh, that's if you're asking silly things, I'm not going to ask you. You're just asking silly questions. Who's the big lad? Have you found the big lad yet? Whoever that is.
On a serious note, though, if I was on the run from the police in Britain,
That's what I was saying. The police haven't mentioned.
would I be putting my face all over YouTube? Think about it. Come on. I play chess. No connect for.
Have you got it? Have you found the big lad yet? Whoever that is, I've got a clue what the big lad is.
Okay.
Who's the big lad? There's a lot of big lads out there.
Why won't Michael do a lie detector test, Humble?
Why won't Michael Sayers do a lie detector test? Simply because he's no need to do one. Because you need to get back to who planted the original seed, i.e. Paddy Conroy. Why won't Paddy Conroy do the original test? Why will Michael Bullock be shouting to Davy Glover the other day there that he was going to be getting arrested for murdering Viv Graham? If that's the case, why has Michael Bullock never been arrested for giving a false alibi? You need to get back to the beginning. If Paddy not pass a lie detector test, the people that you accuse, I will put them on the spot. I promise.
So where's Dazza now? How much is the Sayers paying you, Humble?
The Sayers couldn't pay me because I've not got a price on. I'm quite sure if anybody wants to check up on me having a price, I'm quite sure you'll find I've not got any, because money's no my god. Oil's my god, because see when you run out and you have to push the car home, that's a bummer. Apart from that, money's no my god. Too much of it makes you miserable. Not enough of it makes you sad. Money's no my god.
Oh, hey, Jack, right. Boy. Paddy Conroy's a boy. Fits under the definition of boy. He's older than I am.
Paddy Conroy's 64, 65 years of age.
Yeah, he's and I love this team, Paddy. You know, there's something so weak about someone who joins the team. I've always said that.
Yeah.
It's so weak when it's like
when somebody says Team Humble, I actually cringe at it, Anne.
It's cringeworthy, it is.
Yeah.
It's like, have your own mind. It's like, this is why I saw someone saying on yours age ago, you know, the eek eek, squeak squeak, the cheesies that I can't stand. And she turned round and she said, oh, always with your Humble 100%. I thought, no one is. You're not going to agree with someone 100% all the time. And there's something creepy about someone doing that. It's like, no, there's something wrong there. Don't be a team.
There's a few women out there that we've never met. Jackie Saunders, and we've got so much time for that woman there because we know some of the personal shit she's had to go through. And again, she's been there from the start. We've never met her. We've never video called her or anything. Don't on her, know a wee bit about each other. There's a little lady called Andrea Malia. There's a name there that's in about Paddy's chat. It's no her. There's a woman called Andrea. She's a lovely person. She knows one of the alleged victims over that side, and she's known for a long, long time. And again, can these people who we've never met? I mean, there's actually people like. I mean, there's a guy called, let's just call him Mr. Fish. I mean, he was supporting us away back at the beginning, and then the next thing can you hear that he's been picking victims for a certain family to get taxed, etc. I mean, where's Mr. Fish now? Is he still away picking names for these people? I mean, it's got very confusing on who's who. But again, if I know people in Scotland who's maybe done time with, like, i.e. the Sayers family, etc., etc. I know for a fact that they guys are not grassies. They are not grassies. And even if you want to ask
John,
the Freemans,
John,
if you want to ask the Freemans, for example, as the sales grasses, they will say
quick fire
no.
round.
Steven
Quick
says,
fire round.
etc. is
John,
not a grass.
John,
Sorry.
quick fire round. You take way too long at each question, and then I'll have people moan at me.
Oh, sorry.
That's your question.
Sorry.
Right. Quick fire round. Right. How and when do you predict the DH situation will come to an end, if ever? Quick answer.
That's all down to people supporting people on social media. As long as you're no fucking a court case up and making sure you're no fucking a court case up. That all depends on that.
What's your language? What's your language?
Sorry.
Right, here we go. Here we are. Right. 50. What's a 50 bags gram? Is that food? What are you
50
going
bags. On? 50 bags could be 50 grand or
oh,
50.
All right. What's that? Is that some kind of street speak that I don't know? Or all right, 50
all right,
bags,
50 bags, son.
What's that?
I don't know, motorsports. Are you delivering 50 bags of scran? Hey, I'm trying to keep my 6-pack 1 year,
50
mate.
bags of cheeseburgers.
50 bags of McDonald's. He's
Let's
somebody,
see.
isn't he?
Here we are. Here we are. What's this? I hope Dickie Hickey's off. Oh, no, that's not nice, Rob. That's not nice. I don't like that kind of talk. That's not nice. It's not nice at all. You don't wish that on anyone. I don't care what they've done.
Rob.
Not nice. It's not a funny subject, that or that for comedy. Right, let's see. Oh, 50 grand. Oh, God. Yet people are saying, right, that you pay me, right? I'm on your payroll.
And I know you're
just give them what
person to ever pay. I can
never
pay you.
Do you know what? I'm telling you now, people think I'm above certain things. I'm not. When it comes to money, I'm not above it. I'm just as low and ready to roll in the mud as anyone else is. Give me one of your watches. You could at least give me a watch.
You get me rolling.
Yeah, one of your Rolex watches, and it could make, because what I'm trying to turn this house into an it's a refuge for lost and strays, but I need the money. And I know that you're interested in doing that. I mean, a few little lost and strays in here, and you pay for the house, you pay for this. Not going to happen, is it? Not going to happen. I'm telling you now.
Hang on,
right, oh, yeah, here we are. That's the point. Are you homesick? I don't think you are you?
No, I'm not homesick one bit.
Yeah.
The reason why I go over homesick when I was in the jail, and you only ever have homesickness at once, and then once you go over that, the world's your oyster.
Let's see what I mean. I must admit, when I go away from England, I do get, after a while, I want to go back, even though when I'm here I'm moaning. Let's see, what's this one? And I remember someone ran out of oil. So I do. So he's talking in riddles. You say, I'm not streetwise, John. I don't know what all this talk is. Does that mean something?
Don't ask me, Anne. You've been a bit longer than me. I don't understand half the slang. I try to speak as good office Scottish. I mean, I could just speak like this and say, where am I going tomorrow? And they couldn't got to understand a fucking word I say. But that's slang. So I try to speak with English. I did a wee bit of English. It was only prelim I ever passed. Was my English.
Is that why you needed an English girlfriend?
Yeah, I needed an English girlfriend. You know the voice. Where you could just shut your eyes. But what she didn't tell, she's a compulsive eater. She's 23.5 stone when I put her last in the scales. I mean, I could never carry her off the threshold, never over the threshold.
Is that why you weren't married?
Here we are. This, do you know what? I think this isn't Patty. It's, Patty. That's the voice. Oh, Paddy, please come on if you.
I know. I'm not wanting to be crude, right? But I know Paddy and Bill have been.
Oh,
I know they haven't. No, they haven't.
To your
they
voice,
have.
they have had.
No,
they haven't. Stop it! Stop it!
They've been shaking. They've been shaking the miniature to your voice. Trust me. Trust me. They have. I know. When I hear it. Hear much. Say it again. Say it again, so you can get off it again. Come on. Come on, I'll go to bed early.
Come on, you mush bed now.
Mush.
Get into
No.
that bed right now, dirty little tart.
There you go. You'll be away shaking the minister.
Look,
Stop.
I don't think this is the tragic thing. I mean, this is the tragic thing about Paddy, right? I mean, I put myself on a plate for him, right? I said, here we are, enjoy whatever you want, master. I am willing to do. You know, like a genie, I was there for every wish and desire and everything he wanted to do. And he refused me. Now, come on, if he can refuse a hot babe like me, I don't think he's up to performing.
And
Do you think so?
between
He
me
can't
and you,
sing the
right,
song,
and everybody
can
in the chat, he would tap you, right? If he was in a cell with you, he would tap you. Trust me. I know one when I see one. He would tap you. He would be telling you to go in the boat and bunk. 100%. He would give up the boat and bunk for you.
I don't think he can hit the top notes. I don't think he can. I
Oh
don't.
no,
Stop
he
doing
would
that.
need the green pellets. He would need the slug pellets in him, the green ones. But he would tap you. 100% he would tap you on. Trust me, that'd be another question I'd put in his lie detector test. Would you tap Andrew going yes or no? Or have you thought about it? Guaranteed one of them's
The question
one of
would
them's got to
be,
feel.
would Paddy be top or bottom?
Anne's got to take fun in that, and she's got to slap them a bit.
Yeah. I would like to ask Humble when he's going to marry Donny. Yeah, when you're going to make a respectable lady out of Donny.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Living over the brush. That's what it used
You
to be
put
called.
me on the fucking spot there, Anne. Sorry, I'm going to swear for that. You've got to get your monetization. Take right off of your question.
Well, if we do, and if we have, it would be a secret.
Yeah, it'd be just something quiet.
Do you know what gets me right? No, when they go on about women's labour and women's suffrage and all this, I tell you now, right? Women freedom, and now today they've just handed it right back to men again. Then, I mean,
fucking tribunal for a day.
In the old days, you had to marry, you had to provide.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You had to do all this. Now they don't, and also women then used to. It was a terrible shame if a woman showed herself off or acted sexually towards a man that she wasn't married to. But now men are made up, aren't they? We're watching these loose little women.
Donna's very aware of the different cultures we walk between. So, like, you could get into a shop and it's maybe wanting a certain person and they will be disrespectful to you. Well, she'll be very cautious of and just follow. It's like if everybody came to Britain and followed the rules which is laid upon you, it'd be fine. Because when we go to different countries, we abide by their rules. If anybody's want to come to Cambodia or etc., and break the rules, right? Everything sits here with the keys in it. You can take that away. You can steal it if you want. There's cash lines there that you can pull out the wall with a bloody moped, yeah. But the difference is you get took to a house and you get shot. You'll serve the rest of your life in jail because it's very, very strict. If you get hit over here and you fight back, you will get punished for fighting back.
Yeah.
The people who hit you gets it. I mean, it's. I think if everybody abided by the rules that was put in each country, the world would be a safer place.
Well,
but we abide by the rules.
I think
what
also,
it is,
from a female perspective, one thing that I've tried to do, and you know what it's like in the entertainment industry, I've always
saying entertainment, does that mean Anne's working the brass house with you?
Well, no, that's not what I meant. What I meant was you can ensure that you get certain casting calls by perhaps not keeping your knees together, and I've never done that. I've never even done a shoot in a bodysuit because I've always been worried. What my mum taught me well, actually. So I've never done anything that would bring shame on my family, but specifically now I'm very, very, like, in terms of handing it back to men, you are absolutely bang on. Like, I don't until a certain time in the evening, I won't wear lipstick. I always keep my arms covered because I wouldn't want. People can say what they want about men, but as soon as women start getting dragged into that, And I think from the trolls, our trolls, actual trolls, that's been hugely devastating to them. Trying to find, I think the most risque that I've been is a hot tub shoot. And I did wear a bodysuit in that, but you couldn't see
And
it.
I had no boxers on.
Oh, good God.
It's talking
He's
about
naughty,
the
isn't he? He's naughty.
I'm only joking.
He's naughty, isn't he, Johnny? Can't help himself.
You're
But,
a slut.
I'm a slut.
You are a slut.
well, this is it. Women have always, it's in the entertainment industry as well, always been judged on the looks as well, and that's how
Pregnant,
it's always.
barefoot at the kitchen sink doing the dishes. That's where you should be.
Yeah, and you are
Oh.
definitely. The next one is always available. As soon as you say no to a casting, there will be 100 people that will say yes.
Oh yeah, because you've got no choice.
You know, yeah, 100%. I mean, like doing things like Downton and some of the period dramas that I've done, I wouldn't have been able to do that if, for example, I had implants. I really want implants, but I've actually earned more money not having them.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you're wearing a basque in period drama, that if you look disproportionate, you just won't get the job. It's as simple as that. Even having your eyelashes dyed.
You're better with one pack, guys, and a set of bitch tits. You get one full on life and having a.
Well, do you know what? For some reason, I never got asked on a casting couch. I mean, I used to offer myself, but no, I used to beg them and say, please, I'll do what you want, but they were never.
So you try to tell me you're not invited to this prison thing with Paddy Conroy? I thought you were sharing this. Oh shit! I've let the cat out the bag now.
His little prison thing, his little thing, shall I put it that way?
imagine there you were, Anne, standing there with a lipstick on, and Paddy's coming down the hall.
Do you know what,
getting into segregation is normal.
I hope that he has been offered a TV series.
He has, but I've got somebody up my sleeve, an ace up my sleeve, who's been invited on it as well. But I can't let it out right now.
Spends such a lot of time. He's living in squalor. And he's riding on the back of a documentary from the 90s or whatever it was. I like to see people doing well, and if that would make him happy, that would be great. Well, I think we could all benefit from that.
They all want to be, don't they? This is what gets me. They all want to. I always said about these, ex-hardmen or whatever you want to call them. They're all like lovies. They really are. They want to be famous. They get a bit in a documentary and suddenly they think they're famous and everyone wants to know them. And it's, oh, yes. And I just expect them to start going, oh, darling, yes, and when I did this, when I met this person. And it's like, it's celebrity time. They really are like green room queens. They are the way to go on.
I was just about to say green room bitches, but
yeah,
you said queen.
And aren't they bitchy? I mean, they really are bitches.
I've got my green room behind me. Look, our cannabis plants. Well, not really, but I could kiddle on just for the benefit of yours to make them excited.
Oh, very exciting. Very, very exciting. But yeah,
that's
it's
Gorilla Glue. That's blueberries. And,
that's Cali there.
Cali there now.
What's Cali?
Cali. California.
Yeah, California. And apparently, I don't know because I don't even
shit.
know what drug.
You just need to look at the man in the shed for smoking all this thing.
Big lizard there eating a moth.
Yeah, you see him?
Hi.
Yeah. See what?
The lizard.
Lizard. Look, I'll make it run. Oh my.
Oh.
Don't like them.
They're lovely things. I like
there's loads of geckos and lizards and shit. You just get used to them. They can
and
move very.
Monitor lizards.
They can move very quick.
But I'm just looking
right,
and you're going to get off now.
I love you and leave you because, but I just want to state the last thing. Agent provocateur, right? Mistakes have been made. Lessons can be learnt. The people who's allegedly hit a premises over Newcastle last year might be looking at between 7 to 15 years. You can get that down to 9 to 18 months if you can prove that the man is a supergrass working for the Crown and provoking a crime. You can prove it. Only your lawyers can do it. Agent provocateur. Go and ask your lawyers about it. I'm giving you a lifeline here. Everybody can learn from it. Lines can be drawn in the sand. But your man, David Hislop, needs to put your man who planted the seeds on the spot. No me. It's not for me. He's not got to get me time. He's getting his time, no.
And if you go to agentprovocateur.com, you get the best knickers and bras. Beautiful.
Oh, lovely.
Anyways.
Gorgeous.
We expected a wisecrack in about that thing.
But anyway,
Is this Tuesday night assault night? Is it? That's another one macro and hang on to turn the camera.
Anyway, so to sum it up, because I like people to leave our last one, let's sum it up for people so they can get right at the end. Right, you would agree to doing this acro with the lawyers if Paddy can get a lawyer that can do it and you can do it, but there's got to be a codicil or an agreement. Somehow you've got to have it that he can't back out of doing a lie detector, even if he doesn't believe the results. He's still got to do it. He's got to agree to do it 100%.
And you both
so there we are, Paddy.
And we both pay our own legal fees. We both pay our own legal fees. No legal aid thing. We both pay our own legal fees here because I'm not taking this out the taxpayers' money for it to be cast.
Well, you won't get legal aid for that. There's no way in a million years you get legal aid.
But don't you think the Paddy should be proven to not me, but the guys that he's now, because I will nibble away at them. I've got more videos to come out. I'm putting my videos on Instagram now because I'm on a ban for bullying bullies. If Paddy wants to put a stop to that, if Davy Hislop wants to put a stop to that, put Paddy on the spot, get him to do it and prove you guys. I'm giving them a lifeline right now. They're saying agent provocateur. He's looking at 10 years. You can get that down to 3, 18 months on a tag, 9 months. Come on. It doesn't take a rocket science. If he's been working for the Crown as a police informer to plant seeds in you guys' heads to go out and commit a crime, if your lawyers can prove that, he's out 9 months to 18 months on a tag. Well, I'm doing 10, 70, 15 years, 10 years.
I wish he'd agreed to come on the live because I've asked him to come on the live and he just won't have. No, I'm not going to.
Well, I get told one of the guys that I've just mentioned there 2 minutes ago was on the phone saying, you need to date. He was actually in a pub in South Shields on Friday, Saturday night, saying that he needs to do a bloody test now and prove that what he's said to us isn't a lie. So I'm giving these guys a lifeline. They can hate me all they want, but at the end of the day, you have to look at who first started this. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Paddy promoted a channel which went on the attack of my family. Then Daniel Bell, let's call him Daniel Bell, with the mod, phoned Paddy up. I've been sent the video where he said that channel you promote it is attacking such and such kids and that. All right, put the thing onto private. So I need to give Daniel a bit of respect for there. I'll give him it where it's due. I'll give him it where it's granted. After that, the respect plummets again. But again, if you want to keep the respect, ask Paddy to go and do the test and prove me wrong.
Yeah. I don't know why he just doesn't do it because, as I say,
exactly.
This is my
if you can't do it for me, do it for Anna Connolly. If you can't do it for Anna Connolly, do it for these guys. Well, looking at heavy time.
He's got to basically any other time he'd do it, but he's putting all kinds of ifs and I want this and I want that, which never bodes well. You just do it, don't you? You don't go putting in I want
exactly.
This, I want that.
And if I'd put a lot of people, if I'd said something, let's say I'd lied about Decca Higgy all this thing, and somebody wanted me going to, I would not hesitate. I would not hesitate to standing right up here with my acro and putting out page and page and page and page and page. But at the end of the day, there's nothing on. You've got my acro. It's Fergo, Steve Rafe, Sean Atwood, True Media. All these people have fell out with as well. It's all got my acro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's nothing on the Scott, but you've got to send me your English one so I can confirm that as well.
I'll send you. I'm sorry, I thought you had it. It was the Scottish one that was held questionable. I'll send you my. Would you please send that in my English?
And I don't tell lies for anyone. I don't because I don't.
You would never put your name to my acro, and we've never met. Yeah, you would never put.
It's not just that.
I don't care who I am. You would never put your name to something. I know you better than most. You would never put your name to something that's a lie.
Especially when you, let's put it this way, and I'm not stupid enough to do it without getting paid. I'd want a lot of money, a hell of a lot of money, and this stingy get won't give any money out to me.
I'm tight on 2 coats of paint on. I'm tight on 2 coats of paint.
He's got to think of his new life now. You know, on the run, he can't go giving money away anymore. So anyway, I'll love it in the evening. I'll say to everyone in the chat.
To the chat. Even the people who hate me, right at the end of the day, I'm not here to be liked. I've got my friends out with YouTube, and I just want to thank the lovely Anne again for having me on. Hopefully motorsports can come on maybe before the weekend, and tell you a lot about what's happened between Pizza
That'd
Face
be
and
brilliant.
Cyclops there, because it's getting heated there. It's getting hot in there.
Brilliant. So anyway,
Take
I'll
off
look
all
forward
your
to that
clothes on.
motorsport. So take care now, and everyone in the chat. What was that you said? What was that? Did I miss
Nothing.
that?
Ignore it. Ignore me.
Oh no, go on, tell me. I want to know. I want to know
I'm
what
saying
you...
it's getting hot in here. Just take off all your clothes. I was just joking. It's just this. I
Oh,
was singing.
Do not objectify my friend.
yeah. I'm not just a sex symbol. I'm a person behind it and a brain. So anyway, take care, everyone in the chat. Thank you to me mods. Thank you very
Thank you, mods.
much.
See you later, guys.
Take care.
Paddy,
Bye,
get
Donna.
that test taken. Get the test taken, Paddy.
So take care, Donna, as well. Bye-bye now.
Take care, darling.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Love you much.